1. Introduction to Roger. Morneau's story begins like that of many curious young men, searching for answers to life's deepest mysteries. He wasn't born evil, nor was he seeking to destroy his soul. Instead, his early interest in the unknown started as simple curiosity. Books about spirituality, whispers about secret groups, and the allure of hidden wisdom all tempted him. In a world that seemed so ordinary, Roger wanted to touch the extraordinary. He wanted to see what others could not see, to understand the mysteries beyond the veil of everyday life. But like so many who go looking for secrets, he didn't realize that some doors should never be opened. His curiosity drew him toward people who claimed to know the truth about unseen forces. They spoke with authority, promising knowledge and power beyond imagination. Roger thought he was about to embark on an intellectual adventure, a harmless exploration of spirituality. What he found instead was a path that spiraled straight into darkness. Roger didn't know it yet, but every step deeper would pull him closer to the nightmarish temple where he would meet the presence of pure evil itself. 2. The invitation to the temple. Roger's journey into the occult wasn't sudden, it was gradual, like a spider weaving a web around its prey. At first, he was invited to gatherings that seemed innocent, discussions about mysticism, readings of secret books, and friendly conversations with people who claimed to be in the know. But slowly, the atmosphere changed. The discussions became darker, the symbols more sinister, and the promises more dangerous. Eventually, one of his new acquaintances whispered an invitation to attend a gathering in a place they called the temple. This wasn't a church, nor was it a simple room. It was described as a sacred place of power, where forces older than humanity would appear. Roger's curiosity overpowered his fear. He wanted to see it for himself. He was told he would witness things few had ever dared to witness. His heart pounded with excitement and dread as he agreed. But Roger had no idea that by stepping into that temple, he was entering the jaws of something far more terrifying than any human imagination could conjure. 3. Atmosphere of the rituals. When Roger finally entered the temple, he was overwhelmed by the atmosphere. The place seemed alive with a strange energy that pressed against his chest and made the air heavy. Symbols were carved into the walls, their meanings unknown but their power undeniable. An altar stood at the center, surrounded by hooded figures chanting in unison. The low hum of their voices reverberated in his bones, almost hypnotic, pulling him deeper into the experience. The flickering candles threw grotesque shadows that danced like twisted spirits on the walls. Everything about the place felt wrong, yet he couldn't look away. Roger realized this wasn't simply a group of people role-playing or pretending they truly believed in the power they were calling upon. Worse, the energy in the room seemed to respond, as though something unseen was listening. His nerves screamed at him to run, but his body felt frozen in place. And then, in the thick of this unholy ritual, Roger sensed the arrival of a presence that was anything but human. 4. Encounter with the presence. The chanting grew louder, filling the temple with vibrations that seemed to bend reality itself. And then, silence. A sudden stillness fell across the room, and Roger felt it before he saw it. A presence cold, intelligent, malevolent. It didn't need to be seen. Its weight filled the air. The hooded figures bowed as though welcoming a king. In that moment, Roger understood. This was not a symbol, not a metaphor, this was real. The presence focused on him, like a predator studying prey. Inside his mind, he heard whispers, offers of power, wealth, and recognition beyond anything he could dream. But every offer came with a price. He realized that the presence wasn't asking politely, it was demanding submission. The room closed in around him, and Roger's skin crawled with dread. He was standing face to face with a force he could neither comprehend nor resist. What Roger didn't know was that the real horror was only beginning, and soon he would be forced to make a choice that could cost him his very soul. 5. The moment of horror. As the presence pressed deeper into Roger's thoughts, he felt stripped bare, as if every secret, every fear, every weakness was exposed. The hooded figures continued their ritual, chanting words that seemed to bind him tighter to the presence. His heart raced, sweat poured down his face, and his body trembled uncontrollably. The whispers became sharper, like knives carving into his mind. He was told he could be great, that he could rule, that he could have everything he ever desired, but only if he surrendered completely. For the first time, Roger realized the true cost of his curiosity. He was not standing in a temple of enlightenment. He was standing in a prison of darkness, and the walls were closing in. Terrified and cornered, Roger had to decide: submit to the promises of darkness, or fight for his freedom against forces far greater than himself. 6. Struggle for escape. Roger's mind screamed at him to accept the bargain just to make the torment stop, but something deep within him resisted. He remembered fragments of his childhood, moments of prayer, and the voice of faith he had long abandoned. Desperately, he clung to the memory of light, the idea of something greater than the presence now trying to devour him. The hooded figures intensified their chant, sensing his hesitation. The presence leaned closer, its whispers turning into growls, mocking his resistance. Roger knew that one word of surrender could end his suffering, but it would bind him forever. With every ounce of willpower, he fought to hold on to hope, whispering silently for deliverance. The room shook with fury, as though the presence knew it was losing its grip, and in that desperate moment, when the darkness was ready to consume him whole, a shocking force broke through the shadows. 7. The break in darkness. Just when it seemed impossible to endure another second, a light pierced the suffocating darkness. It wasn't the glow of candles or torches, it was something far stronger, far purer. Roger felt it wash over him, filling his body with warmth and strength he hadn't known he still possessed. The hooded figures recoiled in shock, their chanting disrupted. The presence, once so overwhelming, shrieked in silent rage as the light pushed it back. For the first time, Roger realized that darkness did not have absolute power. There was something greater, something stronger than the forces surrounding him. The temple's energy collapsed, like a storm breaking apart under the sun. Roger's chains, both real and invisible, were gone. He stumbled forward, gasping for air, as the ritual dissolved into chaos around him. But escaping the temple physically was only part of the journey. Roger now had to decide how to escape it spiritually and forever break free from its grip. 8. Roger's escape. Roger didn't remember how he left the temple that night, only that somehow he was outside in the cool air, trembling from head to toe. His mind was haunted by what he had witnessed, the chilling presence, the seductive promises, the overwhelming sense of being trapped. But the memory of the light gave him strength. He realized that if he ever returned, there would be no escape. That night he made the choice to walk away from the occult forever. But walking away wasn't simple. Shadows followed him, nightmares haunted his sleep. The people who had brought him to the temple tried to pull him back. Yet Roger was determined. He knew he had been given a second chance, and he would not waste it. But leaving the temple was only the beginning. Roger's true battle would be sharing his terrifying story with the world. 9. Transformation of life. In the years that followed, Roger devoted his life to exposing the dangers of the occult. He spoke openly about what he had seen, writing books and sharing testimonies in churches and gatherings. Many doubted him at first, dismissing his story as fantasy, but those who listened closely felt the conviction in his voice, the trembling honesty of a man who had looked into the face of evil and lived to tell about it. Roger's transformation wasn't just about leaving the temple, it was about dedicating himself to the light he had discovered in his darkest hour. His story became a warning to others who might be tempted by the allure of hidden power and secret societies. And the message Roger carried was chilling. The promises of darkness are real, but so are the consequences. 10. Moral of the story. Roger's horror story is more than just a tale of fear, it is a warning. Curiosity about the occult might seem harmless at first, but it opens doors that cannot easily be closed. The pursuit of hidden power always comes with a price, and the cost is far greater than most realize. Roger's experience shows us that darkness is not just metaphorically, is real, intelligent, and dangerous. But his story also carries hope, that no matter how deep someone falls into the shadows, there is always a way out through faith, strength, and the refusal to submit. His testimony lives on as a chilling reminder that the spiritual world is not a game, and the temple he entered is one no one should ever dare to walk into. So the next time you feel curious about forbidden knowledge, remember Roger's night in the Satanic temple, because some doors once opened might never let you back out.